Why did you want to resign now?
Oh, because I felt I felt that we'd made sort of generational shifts on all of the platforms. And developed a multi-platform strategy for engaging readers. So we've outsourced our printing, which is a huge issue for us because we had this palace of printing in Vaughan. It was a wonderful, wonderful place, great teams working there, but it just came to the time where we needed to leave that behind and trust that to others, contract it out. We launched the tablet app, which was has been designed to reach a whole new generation of readers, engage them in the mission of the Toronto Star, and you'll see if you go up on thestar.com today that we've launched a beta version of the star.com for the future, and we're kind of crowdsourcing for improvement, so anybody can get on and talk about how it can be even better yet. So it really felt like this great stream of work had come over the dam, and the next renewal should be somebody else.
You've done what you needed to do.
Yeah, probably what I could do.
As I know you love newspapers. You love this business. It courses through your veins. Was it a hard decision to make?
Yeah, it was. But I'd finished 7 years at the Star. I'd promised 5 when I came, and it's a hard business these days. And what happens is that. In the past, a publisher could spend a lot of time working with all of the various customers and constituent groups that you had, but a lot of time focusing on news and focusing on the message and the mission. Frankly, all of my time was being engaged in issues of shoring up the business case. And as much as I found that a great intellectual exercise, my heart's in editorial. My heart's in the news. And so I'm really, I really am thinking for the future that I want to focus again on public policy issues, on the kind of work that the United Way does. I'm on the St. Michael's Hospital board. I'm just so inspired by the kind of work I see there. So I'm thinking about a change.
Being in that position, trying to shore up that support for the business model, can you say that the newspaper is dead, at least in the paper version that shows up on people's doorsteps?
No, it's certainly not dead. And life support is a little extreme yet. I think we have time yet. What the reality is that when I came into the business, now 40 years ago, believe it or not, well, you'll believe it, but I don't. 75% of the revenues of newspapers came from advertising, and only 25% came from the subscription base. So it meant there was this massive subsidy of the cost of actually producing a newspaper that was created by advertisers. So we, as subscribers, we never paid for the newspaper. We paid for just a little fraction of it. Now it's shifting because advertising is going elsewhere, a lot of it going to the web, a lot of it going to television. What it means is subscribers are being forced really to pay the lion's share, or they will be in the future, forced to pay the lion's share of subscription costs.
Will they do that when they can get things online?
Well, and that's a big question. It's actually a tougher choice than that because most of them don't prefer to get their news online. It's an older readership in newspapers now, and for a lot of them it's going to be difficult because many of them will be on fixed incomes, and they may not have the capacity to pay the amount that's going to be required. So that's where I think the real rub of the business case will be. But for organizations like the Star, that's been successful at launching multi-platform, there's the opportunity for the future to leverage the costs of news on many platforms. And that'll be the sweet spot for the future.
We're talking about the app you mentioned, Star Touch, a way to get new readers, maybe shift how people have been consuming the news from the Star, but it hasn't taken off in the way I'm sure the Star might have wanted. It's not the thing that everyone has to have. They're not necessarily in love with it, enamored of it. What's gone wrong, do you think?
I think it really will be a slow build, and I'm not sure that anything has gone wrong. I mean, expectations were built on what happened at La Presse, but the La Presse strategy was to shut down print at least during the weekdays, and they've now done that. You can't get a La Presse newspaper except for Saturdays. That was never our strategy. So we never tried to push print readers onto the tablet. What we have done is we have engaged people who were not print readers, but rather were coming to our website or other websites, and were looking for a deeper experience. So in effect, what's happening is that we're taking people who have been on the web for 2 or 3 minutes, and we're saying to them, no, we actually want you for 10 or 15 or 20 or 30 minutes to have a deeper, more engaging experience with news every day. And it's hard changing people's habits.
That's for certain. People love the tactile. Some love the tactile feeling of the newspaper. Some love to get it from their social media lines as well. Earlier this month, the Star reported losses of somewhere around $230 million in the last quarter. How healthy, realistically, is the paper you're leaving behind?
Those were paper losses. Mm-hmm. That was writing down goodwill, something that you've seen other companies do in the tens and hundreds of millions of dollars. So that didn't actually reflect the health of the Star. Of Torstar. Torstar is actually in pretty good shape for the future, having done a wonderful deal for Harlequin, sale to Murdoch and his companies, and that worked out very, very well for us. We've made a big investment in a company called Vertical Scope, which is a really interesting sort of consumer content creation model of digital for the future. So. And we still have Metroland, more than